Well, I would say welcome to the new year, but it's February already and I've been lacking, so I'm very sorry about that. Just before we start, can you not think of a blue monkey? Just, think of anything you want, but don't think of blue monkeys, all right? And you didn't see a blue monkey on my face just then. That would be ridiculous. So just don't, anything you want, just not blue monkeys. Okay, so you'll be familiar with double negatives. We use them every day. They don't make sense. We don't even realise we're using them. So, for instance, someone will accuse you of something and you go, I didn't do nothing. If you didn't do nothing, then you must have done something. And what you meant was, I didn't do anything, or I haven't done anything, rather than I haven't done nothing. More obvious ones that kind of make sense are something like, if someone asks you a question, you want to avoid the answer, or you don't want to hurt the person's feelings. So you go, someone will ask you something like, so are you interested? And you'll go, oh, well, I'm not uninterested. So the person asking you still doesn't quite know where you stand and what your opinion is and all that sort of stuff. But you didn't want to really tell the truth or something like that. So that's those are two familiar scenarios. A long time ago, I saw this particular strapline from the British Red Cross. And as you can clearly see, it says refusing to ignore people in crisis. And well, obviously refusing and ignore are two strong negative words. Crisis, a bit negative, but yeah, that's fair enough. So what you should do is get rid of those two negatives, and you could easily put something like helping people in crisis or supporting people in crisis. Several years later, I remember at the time asking to be referred to the British Red Cross to see if I could help them out, and they went somewhere else, and someone else clearly had the same thought process as me. So that's good. I'm glad about that. So now my radar really took off was the fantastic 2012 Olympics and Paralympics. And I started hearing the commentators distinguish between the Olympians and the Paralympians. Now the Paralympians were called disabled, and the Olympians, who used to be referred as abled, were now being called non-disabled. So rather than thinking of some language to bring the two sets of athletes together, why did they go the negative route rather than the positive route? And maybe you watching can tell me. I'll be really, really genuinely interested. So, which brings me to what I asked you at the start of this rant is, can you not think of a blue monkey? Now, if you've got a picture of a blue monkey in your head, I apologise, but that's just how our brains work. And our brains work exactly the same way as, say, the internet. If you type in a blue monkeys into the internet, let's do that, we get monkeys. Some of them are blue, some are not. But if we say to not show me blue monkeys, we still get blue monkeys. So to say don't do something, as we know with children, they're going to do it anyway. So if you tell my brain not to think of a blue monkey, it's going to do it. So that brings me to the absolute crux of this whole rant. I've seen an advert in a bus stop and on the back of a bus, and I've seen that, clocked it a couple of times. And then I went and saw at the bottom of M32 and saw this massive billboard with the same advert. As you have hopefully can concur with me, that if you say don't think of something, then you're going to think about it. So this headline here is asking me to not imagine they just are an exam factory. They're giving me a headline to tell me what they're not. I'm saying, why don't you give me a headline of what you are? That would be far more helpful to me. But what's the history behind this? If you type in not just exam factories into the internet, obviously you get a whole slew of exam factories. And actually, in fact, if you look at these headlines, there's quite a hoo-ha, the state of our schooling and our education in this country. Most of us know that the school system's built on archaic industrial revolution principle and process based on factories. And in 2022, this advert is still championing that somehow. So not only are we going to think it's an exam factory, because it says not, and that's irrelevant, but it also says it's not just an exam factory. So therefore admitting that it is. But gives an idea that maybe it does something else. But will it tell me? No. And not only does it not tell me what it actually does, but it doubles down. We're not an exam factory, but here's an illustration to compound the message that we're not an exam factory of an exam factory. And if we look closer, all the children are going in, and as they come across the conveyor belt, there's no distinguishing features between any of the students. They're the same height, they wear the same clothes, none of them are individuals, they're all just robots, carbon copies of each other. And if you dig deeper, you can now see an animation of this illustration, putting the babies in, churning out the robots. So to tell me that they're not an exam factory, and then to bombard me with images of them being exam factory, astounds me. I mean, look at these articles about exam factories. There's one here. Again, the heading, not just an exam factory. But the subheading, Nantwich School are the brainiest children in Cheshire. That's the subheading. It's not the heading. We don't want something positive. No, we just want to say not. It's not telling me what it does. It's not telling me what its advantages are, what its benefits are, how it's different from its local competition. It's not telling me any of that. And that just... it just saddens me a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. Yes, we have a negative bias. Plenty of studies will tell us that. But is this the platform to capitalise on that? I'm going to say no. It's not online. It's on the back of a bus and at the bottom of the M32 and a billboard. So just tell me what you do. See, there's a double positive there. Not what you don't. Anyway, that's it. And a big thank you to Blue Monkey Coaching for sponsoring this rant, and a big up to Sam Munslow. See you soon.